Well, thank you, Phil, for that. So this morning what I wanted to do is I want to find out how many people in here have been to New Zealand before? Excellent one. How many would like to go? Wow, awesome. We're going to see if we can make that everybody's hand up at the end of the day. And then our next question is, how many of you would like to be in on a launch? On something that is about to be launched? How many would like to be in on the know? Be the first to know something. Okay, so what we're introducing you today is Helens New Zealand. This is a new marketing campaign that we've got going about New Zealand. It's still part of Cruise Planners, but it's going to be one of the products that we offer that offers customized groups, itineraries with exclusive activities and things happening in New Zealand for groups as well as individuals, and it will all be customized. And meet our mascot, Kasey the Kiwi. This is Kasey the Kiwi. He is our mascot. This is him earlier this week actually talking with our clients. Those clients, they were actually going to Europe, but he was helping deliver the documents. And then he had such a tough week, he had to have an adjustment as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at some of the great things that you can see and do in New Zealand. This here is called the Hole in the Rock. New Zealand is made up of over 300 islands. And in the Bay of Islands alone, there is 144 islands. This is the first one at the entrance to the Bay of Islands at Cape Brett. It's got some other name. Nobody actually really knows what it is unless they go look it up. Everybody calls it the Hole in the Rock. And if water conditions and the weather conditions are correct, then what happens is they will actually take the boat through the hole, and as you can see, it is a very tight fit. So everything has to be perfect for that to work. Now, one of the other things that we got to do when we were down in New Zealand is we got to go on the bus tour that goes along 90 Mile Beach, and we're actually on the beach in the tide zone here, and we've stopped and we're out in the water getting pippies, which are these little shellfish. You cook them on the beach, they steam open, and you get to eat, so it's a great little protein snack to have while you've got a day at the beach. We then left the beach, drove up a creek bed, and stopped in front of the giant sand dunes. Now, just to give you an idea how tall this is, I'm standing on the creek bed, looking up. And most of you got to meet my parents when they were here in May, and here is my dad, and here's my mum. And some people went up to here for the sandboarding, and some went right up to the top. And my dad did climb to the top, and he said when he was up there were actually bigger sand dunes behind. This is my mum sandboarding down the sand dunes. And you use your feet as your rudder as well as your brake. So how far you've got your feet in the sand will determine how fast you're going to go. Here's my dad, and here's the bus driver. So he gets out and goes up there too. Now, one thing that we have in New Zealand is great food and great wine. And my parents have no longer asked me what I want for my first dinner when I go to New Zealand, because my answer is always the same. Fish and chips with L&P. So here you've got the fish, you've got the potato fritters, you've got the chips. We have tomato sauce, not ketchup. And this here is L&P. And what L&P stands for is lemon and pyro. Lemon for the lemon juice that they add to the naturally carbonated spring water from Pyro, which is a small town in New Zealand. Hence L&P. Now, this burger, we decided to have a light lunch. So Brad ordered the burger on the menu. We spent 5 minutes not only laughing, but trying to figure out how he was going to eat it. Because the thing was literally like this big. It's got everything on there, everything, trust me. One of my favourite things about New Zealand is the seafood. I love seafood, I love shellfish. These are New Zealand green-lipped mussels, and steamed them open, a little bit of lemon juice, yum. My favourite red meat in the world is New Zealand lamb. This one here is done with a red wine reduction sauce, which just enhances the flavour of the meat and is absolutely amazing. Then we have the New Zealand dessert, pavlova. And this thing is usually about this round, about this high, and if you ever get the little mini ones like this, they're not pavlovas. Because when you get the big ones like this and you get the wedge, you actually have melts in your mouth marshmallows on the inside. And I actually made this one time for a friend when they came to visit, and the guy turned around to me and said, "This doesn't taste right." And I thought, this is like the most perfect pav I have ever made, because they're not the easiest things to make. And I said, "What's wrong with it?" He said, "Air is not supposed to taste this good." But it is, it's a very light dessert. We also have award-winning wines in New Zealand. This 3 bottles of wine that won the 2014 San Francisco International Wine Competition. So we are well known internationally. So besides sandboarding and going through holes in the rock and having amazing food and wine, we also have a lot of other activities that are available for people to do in New Zealand. So depending what your interests are, it could be hiking. You can hike just about anywhere in New Zealand. You get beautiful round the coast hikes, and the mountains, and the forests. You don't have to worry about anything poisonous. We have no snakes, no poisonous spiders, no wild animals, no lions, no bears, no tigers. So all you've got to do is watch where you put your feet. And if you go see kayaking in Abel Tasman National Park, you might pick up a hitchhiker or two. And the New Zealand fur seals will actually get up on the kayaks when you kayak into the bays. If you're into skiing, we have world-class skiing in New Zealand during the winter months. And down here is the town of Queenstown, which is known as the adventure capital of the world. If you are an adrenaline junkie, this is where you go. You can have everything from 0 level of adrenaline through the roof adrenaline, including things like jet boating. Now these jet boats can go through water as little as 4 inches. They don't have propellers. They use the Hamilton jets, which sucks the water in and pushes it out, which helps propel them along. And they can give you some hair-raising rides. And now what we're going to do is show you a very quick video of 4 different types of bungee jumps that AJ Hackett's come up with in Queenstown. This is at the Kawarau River, which is the original bungee jump. Hang on, I don't want to And if I ever want to jump off anything with rubber band around my ankles, this is the only place I'm going to do it. This is about 60 meters in height, times it by 3 is about 180 feet. You can choose whether or not you want to get wet. If you want to get wet, you will get wet. This is Queenstown down below.
There you go, with the skateboard.
So this one you can actually bungee or swing. And you can do it at night, just for an extra thrill. And then we go to one of the tallest bungee jumps in the world. It's 134 meters, you're looking around 400 feet straight down. And this one you will not get wet. This is a dry jump. You won't get wet on this one because the river's not deep enough.
You hope not to get wet. Oh my goodness.
And then of course we have the swing, which is the world's highest swing, and this thing is really hair-raising. You talk about adrenaline rush. So 300 meters, you're looking around 900 feet, 70 meter free fall, you're looking around 210.
Life insurance.
So what we would like you to do now is that we want Kasey Kiwi has been very active on social media recently. He's been working very hard to get his profile up because he wants to show people New Zealand. He's wanting to put together groups to take to New Zealand. So he's asking that you come and connect with him on Facebook, on Twitter. He's got a Google Plus community. He's got his, the website's up and running. And on the Pinterest, he's actually on my Pinterest page, but he's got his own board, Kasey Kiwi. So if you would like to go and connect with Kasey, he's posting all sorts of things. I mean, he was in Barnes & Noble the other day and looking at the books on New Zealand, and there's all sorts of pictures up there of him. And he's been having a blast. His first official outing was last week when he was at a networking event learning about how networking can make you rich. So he had a great time. So he'd like to let you know that in front of you, you have these Air New Zealand vacation brochures. This is just one of the vendors that we use to help customize the tours to New Zealand. In here, you'll find information about self-driving with the different types of rental cars and campers that we use. You'll also find information in there on different day tours and things, and we can customize your trip completely from start to finish. We do the airfare, we'll get the car rented for you, we'll have the hotels booked, we'll do the day trips booked for you, or you can do a little bit of both, a little bit a la carte along the way. So that is all we have for you today. On behalf of Kasey Kiwi and myself, thank you very much for your time.